Hello, so today I'm going to show a few videos and photos from our holiday, and I'm going to share a few thoughts about uncertainty. So we've had some family here from Holland and we went on a holiday with them and we did lots of special things together. And I'm a little bit hesitant to share them just because I know that some of you might not have done many exciting things in the holidays, or maybe you haven't done things like that for a while, but these are not things that we usually do. It was kind of a one-time special time together because we had family here from Holland. So yeah, then usually in the holidays the most exciting thing for our kids is to go to the op shop and spend a few dollars, or to go to the park. So it's kind of a one-off thing, but I did take lots of videos and photos and I hope you enjoy watching them, and maybe it makes you feel like you've been there too. But I'll share some thoughts about uncertainty first. So I think no matter who we are, we can all relate to feeling unsettled sometimes, or to uncertainty. And I know one time I was talking to one of my younger sisters and she was surprised that I have times when I feel unsettled, or life feels uncertain, because here I am married, I've got children, and life in a certain sense is very settled, but there are always things that can make us feel uncertain. And even when we think we know what we're doing, like, the future is always uncertain. So we can always struggle with uncertainty or feeling unsettled. So yeah, no matter what stage of life there can always be uncertainty. And yeah, I really hate uncertainty. I hate waiting and I hate uncertainty. I sometimes said or thought, I don't care what I do, I just like to know what I'm doing. And whether that means, a big thing, or whether it's just what I'm doing tomorrow, I like to know what I'm doing. And part of the reason I like to know what I'm doing is so that I can feel prepared. But anyway, one verse that I have found really helpful is John 10 verses 3 and 4, and it's about sheep. And it's talking about Jesus. It says, He calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. So just that phrase, he goeth before them. That's something very comforting when you feel unsettled, or when things are uncertain, or you don't know what's happening, whether it's just something little or something big, that God goes before us. If we're his children, we're following him, then he's like a shepherd who is going before. So he's already preparing the way and preparing things for us. And there's actually quite a few times it talks about God going before, but I found this verse in Isaiah 45 verses 2 and 3. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the Lord of Israel. And another verse that I find encouraging when you think about feeling uncertain, especially when, like I said, I like to know what I'm doing so that I can feel prepared. And Luke chapter 12, Jesus says, Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? So it says the birds don't have storehouses or barns, and yet God looks after them. God feeds them. And so I think of like storehouses, that's preparing for the future. And so birds they don't prepare for the future. They don't have their own barns and their own storehouses, and yet God looks after them. And so when life is uncertain, or we don't know what's happening, we can feel unprepared, and yet God doesn't need us to feel prepared. God will take care of us because he goes before and he knows the future, and he'll give us what we need. And the third thought that I find encouraging is the wise man and the foolish man. So I have said this before in one of my videos, but the same thing about preparing for the future. In the story of the wise man and the foolish man, the builders, Jesus said that the one who built on the rock is like somebody that listens to what he says and does what he says. So that man was preparing for the future by, building his house on a rock. And so when we listen to what God says, when we walk with God, we are preparing for the future, because we are like that man who's building on a rock, so that in the future when the storm comes, the house doesn't fall over. So when we listen to God and when we walk with him, then we are preparing for the future. And I find that quite an encouraging thought as well. Oh, and back to the birds. Jesus says how we don't need to worry about our life. How the birds don't have storehouses, but he also says to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So when we're knowing God is our first priority, then God will sort out all the things that we need. So now I'm going to show some photos and videos. There were 8 other people with us from Holland, but I only show our family. Lydia, where are we? Where are you? Go. Ooh. Another one? Oh, there's lots of them. I didn't count. Okay.
Let's go!
It's interesting to see how wide a ripple it can make when you throw one stone in. And it can be the same with the things we do. We never know how many people will be affected by the little things that we do. Yeah. Is Hannah down there? Johan is somewhere way down there. Lydia, do you like the holiday house? It's nice, eh? It's got a really nice view.